Hello and welcome to Below the Title. I'm Robert.
And I'm Taylor. And today we're talking Dante's Peak. Dante's Peak is a 1997 disaster epic starring Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton in a tale of a small town versus Mount St. Helens.
Oh my God.
Oh no. Yeah, essentially.
It also has possibly one of the most logic-impaired scripts I've ever seen.
And one of the most stupid characters.
It is filled to the brim with stupid stock characters, old school special effects, and Academy quality acting by Pierce Brosnan.
Once again, Brosnan and his acting, Academy acting.
Because Pierce starts the film taking a personal hit, and then you know he's tormented because he does lots of push-ups really badly, really quickly the first time you see him.
I was watching that thinking, what kind of push-ups are these? It's not how you do push-ups.
That is not a push-up. That is just...
Yeah, he's hardly moving at all.
Like, he's barely moving, and he's intense. And his boss rings up and says, Harry, I need to get you off vacation and not get you out to the northwest because we've got some stuff happening up at Dante's Peak. I need you to look at it. And Harry gets off his vacation and he goes and looks at it. He takes a pH reading, sees some dead trees, looks at some rocks and goes, fuck. And then his boss says, you're full of it. I don't know what you're talking about. You need how to control one of these things. Ah! And that's about the logic of this movie right there.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to set my best man up to look at something and pull him off vacation for it, and if he says, shit ain't good.
I was reading that apparently that aspect of it actually isn't too far off because there was something that happened in 1980 where someone went up to, a similar situation and they sort of caused a bit of panic by saying, we should evacuate the town and it caused the tourism to just completely die and then nothing happened. But it was funny how he just seemed to be not listening to his best man at all.
Yeah, he completely negates his best man and then even says, oh, look, you're my best man, but you have a lot to learn. Then why is he your 2IC?
He acknowledges that he's his best man.
Yeah.
Let's go and drive over some trees.
In this movie, Pierce decided that his character would just charge dead straight at things.
He just wants to get from point A to point B. Doesn't matter what's in the way.
Careens through everything. Has a real particular habit for driving through some trees.
You're out of your mind. Oh, you're out of your mind.
It's okay.
He drives into a river and gets bogged. And the first thing he does when he gets out of the river is drive over 2 more trees.
Yeah, he has some questionable driving skills.
He later drives a car over lava, gets bogged, and then he outruns a pyroclastic cloud. In the same car.
The tyres on that truck seem to be pretty durable.
They were made of fucking lead.
It's one of those films that's grown now. Like, it's a cult favourite.
It's a bit of a poor man's Twister. They definitely ripped a few things off from Twister in this one, like with the team of experts that come in.
The nerdy team.
There's even a poor man's Dusty. And the most stupid-looking robot you're ever going to see.
It's actually similar to a NASA robot that they did build at the time, but the NASA one looks a little more sturdy.
Yeah.
This one just looks really tinny
and it breaks every
flimsy,
5 fucking minutes anyway.
and it just falls over. Yeah.
And you've also got Linda Hamilton in this thing. The script writes it so basically he comes to town and then she straight away goes, I'm going to get me some of that. And he's looking at her going, damn, she's looking all right. One problem, though, is that pairing has absolutely zero chemistry. I've had Aspro Clear with more fizz than that. And it comes across in one of the most awkward make-out scenes in a kitchen I've ever seen.
Do you know what they say? It's like riding a bicycle.
She runs a cafe and she obviously knows coffee.
That's always got the door
This is
open.
America in the 90s. It's a place... Sorry, but you don't get good coffee.
No,
we're from Melbourne. We know we're coffee snobs, right? But she obviously knew about coffee. She makes all the good lattes and all of the good coffee. And one of the volcanologists, one of the team...
He even does a little coffee song.
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee. Cappuccino.
He knows and she mentions the good coffee machine and all of that.
And
but
he just
Pierce
goes,
seems to just want to get the bog standard sort of just regular filter coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, please.
Cappuccino, espresso, cafe latte.
Can I just have a regular coffee?
And then has the nerve to proclaim,
But I've never really cared for your coffee.
of course he doesn't like, it's the crappiest coffee.
He's drinking the filter crap.
You idiot.
And she's always trying to make him a coffee because she's clearly good at it.
Yeah.
Pierce talks with his mouth full at one bit. This is another. This is a bit of an acting. At one point, here's some quality acting. Linda Hamilton brings him coffee, including a shit one for him.
Yeah.
And he's eating breakfast, and she says, "What's this? This is our robot." And he goes, and explains it through a full mouth.
Well, this little puppy's called Spider Legs, and she goes in when it's too dangerous for us. Boldly goes, I might add.
It's the thing that actors tend to do, even good actors, if they're eating in a scene, they tend to overact eating. And, I mean, it's Pierce, so it's going to be overacting anyway. But,
It's just like, did no one think that was a
because
bad idea?
it's like a little bowl of cereal or something.
Yeah, he's like eating a cereal.
Let's go again, Pierce. How did you feel about that? I thought it was great. There was also the bit early when they've got the really ridiculous, crappy-looking robot halfway down the mountain, which I don't know how it got there. And the guy's going down there to fix it, and he's got the rope on him, which is quite loose and not restrictive. And then for some reason he disconnects himself.
No, Terry. That's not a great idea.
I'm going off the rope, and it's like, why did you need to do that? You weren't hung up on the rope.
No.
It wasn't. They were still perfectly able to go around and use.
Because
yeah,
they
it was
needed
just a real. It was just too lazy just to get him in trouble.
It was poor man's Dusty.
Yeah.
Basically proving his dustiness by going off the rope, but also then gives us a little action sequence when some styrofoam lands on his leg.
Yeah.
I did think though, like that poor bugger's got a broken leg and then he gets winched up to the helicopter and they don't splint it or anything. So he's hanging off a thing, getting lynched, just going, all the way up because his leg's hanging like this and it's busted. Like,
But I also didn't get when the helicopter comes and looks at them. He goes over the top and says, "Oh, I'll go around again and put a rope down." It's a helicopter. Can't you just stop and just go? Woo?
yeah, go.
And he's going around. Woo!
What was the whole bit with him renegotiating his rate in emergency?
That did stand out. It's like,
That's
he's
just like,
renegotiating
what?
his rate. What?
Give him whatever he wants. And it's just like,
What are you, Uber?
what? Yeah, there's a
surge pricing.
surge pricing on the chopper at the moment. That's the least of this movie's problems because this movie has a pair of absolutely precocious children. They're horrific.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Can't we do this some other time?
They're
really
pretty
are.
typical 90s American.
Typical
kind of
90s kids.
annoying.
And a bitchy mother-in-law who lives up the mountain, who straight up, as soon as she
she's
meets
the
Pierce Brosnan's
dumbest
character, she goes,
Bunch of you people came up here right after Mount St. Helens went nuts. There's nothing going on then. There's nothing going on here now.
and all he's done is say hello, you antagonistic
Granny knows best.
bitch. And then, as the movie progresses and all that, she won't come down off the mountain. So the kids, and this was the moment in the cinema where I went, fuck on what? The kids get in the car and drive up the mountain by themselves to get grandma. So this kid who, what is he, 12, drives a car, a four-wheel drive up a volcano,
I can't see through the ash. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
gets there no problems.
Driving a four-wheel drive is more difficult anyway. Then he's up the side of this dirt track where you can't see anything with all the ash and somehow
and
he still made it okay.
He makes it fine.
Yeah, and then Granny's up there going, "Oh, it's all fine.
It's all good.
Just get in
And
the
they
house."
get him in the house. Not, holy shit, let's get the hell out of here. I'm
It's like,
driving.
I was wrong. Yes, it's a disaster.
Yes,
Let's
I'm
get out of
driving.
here.
I'm driving. Let's leave. No, she gets them in the house. Although I did notice that at that point, Ruffy the dog bolts out of the house and runs off into the ash and dark because he
was
knows
when-
at that point that woman's a fucking tool. So he runs off. He takes off because he's going, I'm out of here.
I'm going to take my own chances.
I'm going to take my own chances. That's the movie I want to see in Dante's Peak 2. Ruffy's adventure as he comes down the mountain. Because later on, Ruffy shows up on an outcropping like miles away.
Yeah.
It's not like that dog.
It was a
fucking
very big
books it.
coincidence. A big coincidence that
Standing on a rock.
he's right there.
But it's part of this movie's charm.
Because when Linda Hamilton and Pierce Brosnan go up to save Granny, she's still sitting there going,
This mountain's never gonna hurt us, believe me.
literally a few seconds after that,
Yeah, there's surprise lava. Like, it bursts through the back wall, and then they run out of the house, and it's everywhere, and the cars are melting into it and all that. So it's the lava's doing this guy. We're going to fuck with him. Ha! And so they run out of the house with all the crazy lava, and they get in a boat and take off into the lake to get away. And the lake's been turned to acid because of the sulfuric acid. And this is how little intelligence this movie think its viewers have, because it even has Linda Hamilton's character put two and two together and say,
Acid eats metal.
as they all realise what's going on. Yes. And then they're almost at shore, they're almost out of the water, and Granny, who the whole reason they're fucking there for, decides to become, and to this day, I think this is a great metal band name, Sacrificial Grandma, and jump herself out and drag herself, drives the boat like 2 meters.
But yeah, she jumps out like 2 meters from the shore. The boat's coasting. Her act of jumping out stops the boat.
Yep.
And then they have to save her.
And then they have to save her.
But then she doesn't try and get on the pier. She then walks further up the shore.
Yeah, she doesn't get on the pier. She walks up doing that. And then
she deserved to die.
She deserved to die, and she did. Leave me on my mountain. I was quite happy to, but you gave us half the fucking plot.
Have my crystal.
Yeah, that was kind of a big part of it. All
It's
the
a
adventure
massive
was
part of the plot.
them trying to go up and save her. So yeah.
Oh,
because not much happens in this film until about 50 minutes in. It's 53 minutes that they're in the meeting, and then the mountain actually explodes.
When the first rumbles go off,
and
it takes a while. And then
most of them trying to go and rescue Granny.
It's all about going to get Granny and then getting stuck up there and then coming back down the mountain.
There's really not much to this, is there?
But yeah, the script on this, not so great. The old school models.
I enjoyed that.
I really was struck by the models because you don't see models anymore.
The whole destruction, the destruction of the town was old school. It's all miniatures and it looks great.
Spoiler, the volcano explodes. Can you imagine the whole movie's committees of like, it's going to explode, and it goes.
But the destruction of the town looks really good.
Yeah, as he drives through it in a car,
but in an
that
old
he just
school
drove
kind
through.
of way.
Yeah, it drives screaming through it in a car that's driven through lava.
Yeah, he's still going.
Outpacing him. You can see the cloud approaching on the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't look back, kids! Don't look back.
So, but for all its little things, I'd find Dante's Peak to be a cheesy slice of 90s disaster fun.
It is fun in that way. And I think it's actually become a bit of a favourite of sort of disaster film aficionados. Like, they do like it. It's a silly... I mean, a lot of these disaster films, they're very simple anyway. They're silly, but that's the fun of them.
It's textbook. It's textbook stuff. And it's as long as it's done with a bit of fun.
It's definitely one that... Yeah, nowadays you can watch it with a bit of enjoyment. It'd be interesting. I think people of our age probably appreciate all the miniatures more. Maybe the younger generation might think, "Oh, it looks crap."
I would say they need to look up from their phones to notice how crap the special effects are.
Yeah, once they're
That's
not
not a go
watching
at
TikTok.
It's true. TikTok. What's the fucking deal with TikTok? It has nothing to do with Dante's Peak. I'll move on.
So I recommend it. It's one that's if you like a good disaster film, it's nothing high class. It's just a bit of fun.
It is exactly what it looks like. It is a 90s movie starring 2 B-list actors and about $80 million worth of special effects.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that review just made you blow your top, please like and subscribe so that you can get more of this quality viewing entertainment.